EA Sports. It's in the game.
Sam, you know how you have like no moral compass and you're a complete sellout and you basically have no soul?
Pretty much, because look at me, I'm dressed as like some character out of GTA Vice City.
Anyway, I was thinking that since you're such a horrific, disgusting, soulless sellout, that
I'm glad I did this channel.
That you might like to work for Electronic Arts.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Yes, I would actually. They did ask me to do it. I said, yes, have you looked at our content? We're exactly like you guys.
Exactly
complete sellouts.
So, the reason we're talking about this is because Star Wars Battlefront 2 has come out in early access right now. It's coming out later this week, but if you have EA access, you can start playing 10 hours of it now. I've played 10 hours of it, and I have to tell you that I believe firmly that it is the worst video game of 2017. So, okay, Star Wars Battlefront 2, it was announced earlier this year. We were at E3 and we actually went hands-on with it. Very excited about that game when it was first announced. Star Wars Battlefront 1 had huge problems because basically all of the maps were locked behind DLC paywalls.
Not only that.
Split the community. Also was a pretty shit game.
Terrible game.
With you. Whatever, didn't really care about it. Star Wars Battlefront 2 looked way better. It brought in a class system. The maps looked amazing. And they also said no more DLC map packs. All the DLC was going to be free. So ultimately there was like this gigantic fucking asterisk next to the free that we didn't quite see at the time, and we were all like, you know what, that looks pretty cool. Like,
we were pretty excited. We were
yeah.
pretty excited. In E3, when we saw it, we're like, it looked like they were going to kind of change their tune, maybe change their attitude, and really start looking after the consumer again. Like, that's what we thought.
And I actually scripted a video that I didn't release, basically saying, I don't know, maybe EA isn't the boogeyman after all. Maybe they're okay now. And I'm so fucking glad that we didn't release that video.
Triggered.
It's over 9,000!
Because, my god, the shit that they are pulling in Star Wars Battlefront 2 is honestly the worst shit of 2017, and it might be the worst stuff I've ever seen in video games.
Yep.
Like, the basic premise is that there's two components to it. Number one, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is extremely pay to win. There's a false narrative going around right now that the developers have fixed the pay to win issues. They've made changes, but if you actually play this game and you understand how it works, you'll know that that's a complete lie. There's a YouTuber by the name of X Factor Gaming who did a really famous video now. He spent $90 on in-game currency and bought loot crates and was immediately able to jack all of his stats across all of his classes and vehicles and was just fucking shredding everyone at that point, because the game is absolutely, unquestionably, without a shadow of a doubt, pay to win in multiplayer.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Like,
and broken.
completely. And any suggestion otherwise is a complete lie.
I'm gonna wreck it!
More than that, what has emerged is that this argument that all the DLC and everything is going to be free is actually based upon this idea that the best stuff in the game is actually locked away behind credits or credit walls, right? For example, Luke Skywalker. Have you ever heard of him, Sam?
I saw that.
Have you ever heard of Luke Skywalker, Sam?
Yeah, no, he's the guy that fights with Woody, right? He's like the...
Correct, to
like,
infinity and beyond.
That's another one.
That's the
Of
one.
course.
So, Luke Skywalker, to be able to unlock him in Star Wars Battlefront 2, and by the way, you have to unlock him. He's not just there available to play with straight away. To unlock him takes 60,000 credits. Do you know how long it takes to unlock Luke Skywalker in Star Wars Battlefront 2?
Well, when I was playing today, I think I got between 150 and maybe 230. Something like that.
Correct. That's exactly the win-loss ratio kind of value that you get depending on how long a game runs, right? That means that it actually takes you a total of 40 hours to unlock one character in this game. Just Luke Skywalker.
And another thing
40 hours of grinding to unlock one character.
When I was doing the download for the actual trial, they're already selling credits. It's not even out yet, for God's sake.
While you're downloading the game, you can buy the DLC.
You wanna buy some death sticks?
It's so like, it smacks you in the face. It's like the first thing you see, instead of showing you other things, it's like 1,200 credits, 120,000 credits. You're like, but just to play the game yet.
But just to be super clear, right? There's no way for you to speed up your progression towards unlocking Luke Skywalker other than paying for loot boxes which contain in-game credits. Okay, there's no way to do it. Did you know that if you win a game in Star Wars Battlefront 2 really quickly by shutting down the enemy at the first objective, you get less credits than if you let the game stretch on really, really long and then either win or lose at the end. It doesn't actually make a difference. The entire system is based upon how long matches go for, not on how well you do.
Yeah.
So you could be the guy that completely carries your team and shuts down the enemy at the first objective. You will get less credits than if you just AFK'd, sat at the back of a base, did nothing for an entire round, and made sure that it went to like the third objective and ran for 30 minutes. This is fucking nuts.
It's so fucking greedy, isn't it?
Greed, for lack of a better word, is
EA.
It's so greedy. It's like, it's smacking everyone in the face that plays EA games and saying, we don't give a shit about the IP that you enjoy, how much you've supported us in the past to even get to this spot. It's like, fuck you guys, we're going to make you guys hate this game so much that you have to pay money.
It's basically like a full-time job. Because there's actually quite a few unlockable characters, right? There's about 4 of these unlockable characters, maybe 5, and they're 40 hours each. So if you want to be able to unlock all the characters in Star Wars Battlefront 2, you need to grind for about 200 hours. Now get this, right? Just so we're clear, while you're grinding for Luke Skywalker for 60,000 credits, okay, that means that you can't spend any credits on anything else. You need to save all of them for Luke Skywalker. You need to spend those credits to buy loot crates to upgrade your core characters, like the non-hero characters, which means that if you really want Luke Skywalker, you have to gimp the rest of your in-game like progression, not buy any loot crates, save them all so that you could eventually do that.
But wait a second, I just want to make this clear. Can you find any Jedis in loot crates?
You cannot find those characters in loot crates. No, you can only unlock them with credits. It's the only way to do it.
You suck.
And so the idea that like there's going to be free content in this game is a real false economy, because what they basically said was get it free, right? But what they didn't say is that we're going to add more characters that are behind these huge credit sinks that require so much grinding to get to. There's so many things wrong with this entire system. Like right now, I've played for 10 hours. I've unlocked one gun.
Okay.
No, I'm saying like in 10 hours I've unlocked one weapon. That's it. That's
no,
all
I mean, like,
I've done. That's it.
I'm not surprised. Like, I know that. Like, that is what you are saddling up for.
Yeah.
If you said I sat there for 3 years, I haven't seen anybody, and I just unlocked Luke Skywalker, I'd be like, oh, cool.
It's been 84 years.
Yeah, and there are other problems as well. Like, for example, I played for 10 hours and I didn't unlock, and I didn't actually manage to control a hero character once.
Me neither, actually. I got Chewbacca's little warrior once.
You know why? And it's because unless you snowball at the front of a match really fast to get the lead, someone else will get that character, and then they'll just run around wrecking face, and they'll just run away and regenerate their health. You can almost never get your hands on a hero character. So, you can spend 40 hours trying to get Luke Skywalker.
That's so true.
And then you could actually go 10 hours like I did without ever being able to use him, because it is so hard and so difficult to actually get enough points in game to be able to put Luke Skywalker on the battlefield. And if you then do it, someone else might have done it first, so you don't even get it.
The more you say it, the more I'm just like, this is fucking lunacy.
It's
man.
insane. Like, I know, I'm a pretty chill dude. Most people know me on my channel, right? But look at how fucking crazy I am.
Big time.
Because it's just nuts.
Not to mention, when I was downloading the game, I saw a version of like $110, $120.
Yeah, there is $110.
It's like, my God, what would you get extra in that? I would say very little, and you're still saddling up for the most disgusting, laborious grind you've ever done in your life.
Now, EA has responded to this on Reddit. Get this, right? On Reddit.
What have they said?
So someone said, I have to pay $80 to unlock Vader, ? Lol. And then the EA guy responded saying, the intent is to give players something to work towards so they can be proud of their achievement. That Reddit post from that developer currently has 72,000 downvotes. It's like the most downvoted post I've ever seen in my entire life. Jesus. People hate this, man. And the frustrating thing about this is that I know there are people in the comment section right now that are going to say this. Don't worry about it, man. Just don't buy it. It doesn't affect you. Dude, it's fucking affecting you. If you have to spend 40 hours to unlock the character that you want, and all the while not buy any weapon upgrades because you're saving up to be able to buy Luke Skywalker, if it's pay to win and the guy in front of you has spent all like $60 to unlock weapon upgrades that you can't afford to buy, it's affecting you, man. There's no question about
100%.
it. It's affecting you. So the idea that it's not, and this ridiculous argument that gets spread around everywhere, oh, just don't buy them, man. It just doesn't doesn't affect you. It fucking affects you. And this is the perfect example. Now, anytime anyone says it doesn't affect you, point to Star Wars Battlefront 2 and be like, this is the moment where that argument was completely revealed to be just a total lie. So.
And I don't know if this figure is correct. I heard this the other day. Someone in the comments is going to tell me I'm wrong with the dollar figure, but didn't they make like $600 or $700 million last year?
Oh, they make all the money in the world on
it's like
Star Wars.
God, you'd expect when a company is doing so well that you'd think that they would be wanting to make an example, but instead they look to the shareholders and go, "Hey, we're gonna make you guys so much money," which is okay. I get it. Businesses have to make money, but in the worst, cheapest, crappiest, most disrespectful way possible.
The challenge with this is that I would like to be able to say to you right now that this is a pretty decent game because it actually is. I actually don't mind this game. The map design is incredible. And I don't just mean aesthetics, I mean like the actual design.
That?
Yeah, I actually do.
I thought Camino was, especially when you're heroes versus villains, it's just bridges. You're just on bridges
Did you
the
get
whole time.
Inside, though?
Yeah, but the thing is, it never ends up inside. Every time I played, it was
I
always on bridges.
Okay, well, there's some individual problems, but on the whole, I feel like the map design is phenomenal. Like, I really do believe that. I feel like the class system works well. I don't
feel like it's impactful though. Did you feel like it was
I did feel
well,
that.
Did you?
Yeah,
It's like,
I
we
did.
really need an officer, or we really need a heavy. Didn't
But
feel
if you
that.
play that with a squad, I reckon there's a lot of opportunities for
Maybe
stuff.
there is. Look, we've only played. You played 10. I played about 6 hours or so. So like, maybe we don't know yet.
That there's lots of good parts to this game. I would love to be able to sit down and give you a really detailed review about what I enjoyed about this game. I know Sam actually had different thoughts about it, but to be honest with you, it doesn't fucking matter because the game is so unbelievably broken.
And the scary thing is, if this game does super well,
Yeah, publishers are like, hey.
they're like, we're all gonna do that now.
That's right.
And the games will only be for the rich. Like, gaming will only be for the rich. We can't spend $80 on a game
Yeah,
and then fucking
$90 on microtransactions.
That's the beginning, right? It's
the
more
beginning,
like
you're right.
$300 or $400, especially if you want to be really serious about it and you want to put some hours in every night after work or something, and you want to make sure that you feel like you're on the map, like playing.
It's crazy.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Now, like, I hate talking this way because I mean, there's so much.
We're not always negative.
There's so much negativity on YouTube,
Yeah.
right? And like, there's so many awesome games that have been released this year. Like, 2017 has been phenomenal for video games. You know, like just last week we had like Mario Odyssey come out, Wolfenstein II we just revealed,
And we did a really good review on that, saying how we hated that game, how much we love that game. So we're not always saying this.
But the fact is that like 2017 and what it has brought to the table and what Star Wars Battlefront 2 epitomizes. It's like you have to talk about it, man.
Yeah.
You just have to. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
Star
it,
Wars
guys.
Battlefront 2.
Another fun episode of Laymen, always talking about fun and happy things.
Please do not buy Star Wars Battlefront 2.
No way.
Please buy Wolfenstein 2.
Wolfenstein.
That is a game that
Mario Rabbids.
100%.
Stuff like that.
These games deserve your money. Please do not buy this. For the love of God, please do not buy this game. It will just, it's terrible.
It is terrible. Thank you very much, guys. See ya.